Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here. Today we're going to be talking about which blueprints, which accessory blueprints should you be focusing on when you are in Heroic Anthem. We've got Kingdom 916 about to go into their first Heroic Anthem. I want to make sure they've got a guide on what to focus on as they go to level up their tech inside of the crystal system. For those of you that have already done Heroic Anthem, you'll know what I'm talking about when it comes to once you get to the point in the game where you've got 180,000 of these season coins. Which one do you get? Which one do we go after? What's the best? What's the best of the best, and why you should get it and all that good stuff. So there's a couple different scenarios here where I want to make sure that you're aware of what you are. Like, you need to understand your role. Okay, you can't come in here willy-nilly and be like, okay, well, this is the best one, I've got to get it, and then you're going to be disappointed because, well, you're not really a rallier, so you shouldn't be really going after necessarily the dagger right off the bat, or you shouldn't be going after the coin right off the bat. So you need to understand your role. We're going to go over those things here. We're going to go over each role and what the top 3 items are that you should be focusing on in each role. Now, something else to think about, it's not just the season coins, but it's also the Conquest Coins. And what do you do with those? Should you spend those Conquest Coins on these blueprints down here, which are level 55 weapons and armor, or should you not spend them on these and maybe just go after the top copy palace skin? First, we're going to go after the blueprints, though. So let's talk about the blueprints. Let's talk about roles. So first off, if you're a Rallier, okay? So if you're a Rallier, you want to be doing a couple things. You want to be increasing your maximum damage. You want to be increasing your survivability. And you also want to be increasing your debuff capability while also maintaining maximum damage. So what do we do here? What are we looking for? Well, I think a must-have, and really the top piece for any Rallier, is going to be the dagger. Concealed dagger. It gives you a 30% chance on attack to reduce your target's health by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. And basically, as long as this rally is going, after about the 10 to 15 second mark, this will basically be rolling non-stop. This will almost always trigger when you want it to, and you'll always have that 15% stack going up non-stop. And this is something that's invaluable on a rally, because the only other way to get this is to swarm it. Swarm a target. And if you're swarming targets in Heroic Anthem, especially without top tier tech being done, or even multiple rally situations or whatever, it becomes very expensive to do that. So having this as an accessory on your Rallier is almost a must-have, especially if you're doing top tier Heroic Anthem content where there are Imperium kingdoms involved, or A-type kingdoms where you're going to have people who are spending into the game to max the tech early on. You need to make sure that you have a dagger inside of your rally. That is number one. Number one. Got to have the dagger. Now, it's usually between dagger and this next blueprint as to which one you should be getting, first or second. I prefer the dagger first. It's just so powerful on a rally. The horn is the number 2 item that I would make sure that you have in your repertoire. Now, you don't need to have a bunch of these. Same thing with the dagger, but you want to at least have one of each, because this usually is the best combo, accessory and accessory, when you're talking about rallying in this game for most pairs. You start talking about infantry heavy pairs, or you start talking about Attila Takeda. I'll go over some other ones really quick as well that you may want to target in the future. But Concealed Dagger, number 1, Horn of Fury, number 2. This basically just increases your damage. If you read the description here, it says 30% chance to gain an extra 50 rage. Well, you're stacking rage, right? You're hitting 50 rage, 50 rage, 50 rage, 50 rage. And this happens a couple times every skill cycle. It's basically like having Khan's rage requirement on a normal pair. This is basically just what this turns into, which again, it increases your damage. You're doing your skill damage sooner, more often, and over a longer period of time, that stacks up to just basically more damage. So you want to have the Horn of Fury and the Concealed Dagger on your rally pairs. Now, what do you do next? If you want a little more tankiness, you can go for a coin, but most people have coins. You shouldn't really be spending these very, very juicy season coins on a lucky Skolas coin because you should have these already. But Vengeance is a good one to have. I think this is the number 3 one, just simply because the counterattack damage is so good. Counterattack damage at 8%, very, very strong. You also have the Pendant. Now, the Pendant here really is my 3rd choice. And the reason I say that, so the normal attack damage of plus 5%, it's not just the normal attack damage that you're receiving. The way counterattack damage is structured, there's normal attack damage and there's counterattack damage. I've done videos on this before where it breaks down the different types of damage in the game. You got normal attack, and counterattack, and you got skill attack. You got skill damage, okay? So those are the different things. And you also have on top of that additional skill damage. So there's a bunch of different things that you have to be mindful of. But with attack damage, the white numbers, okay, normal attack damage actually factors in not only to normal attack damage, but also counterattack damage. So you get a double bonus here. And the more normal attack damage you stack up, the more bonuses you get for counterattack damage. It just works that way. So 3 is definitely the greatest glory in my opinion. And again, if you just are worried about getting swarmed, the Vengeance blueprint's not bad either. That's for rallies, okay? For Garrison, I tend to be more of the I want maximum tankiness, maximum damage. I'm in that camp, okay? So what do we do? Are you going to be getting swarmed a lot in Heroic Anthem? I wouldn't say a lot. You will get swarmed on the occasion, but I don't know if you want to spend an accessory coin on that. And then the next thing is, do you want to do a chance type of thing that's as low as 10%, like a coin here, 10% chance to gain a damage absorbing shield for 2 seconds when attack can trigger only once every 5 seconds. I personally think this will trigger once a turn at best. Sometimes it's a little bit less than that. So it's not really a top tier item for me. I want to have a horn. I want to have a horn on a Garrison. And if we look at the Ring of Doom, normal attacks have a 10% chance to increase damage by 50% for 2 seconds. In a Garrison situation, this is not bad, especially in a fort. That's 2 seconds of 50% increased damage. That can trigger both regular damage and skill damage. That's pretty strong. Is that number 2, though? I don't know. I don't think so. I still think we go Horn number 1. I think we go Vengeance number 2 for the counterattack damage. Reason being, again, you can get swarmed. Okay, you can get swarmed. You definitely want to have the extra damage going out. This is a consistent damage bonus, okay? Counterattack damage, not only is this going to be for anti-swarm, this is going to be for what's happening to you on the rally. They will receive 8% counterattack damage bonus at all times. You can obviously make number 3 Greatest Glory for the same reason we talked about with the rally. Greatest Glory, normal attack, plus the bonus of counterattack damage as well. Not too bad, but I do like the bonus to swarms as well for Vengeance on a Garrison situation. Not bad at all. I do like the ring, guys, but from what I understand, if this actually happened the way that it reads here, this would be number 2, hands down, no problem. But from what I understand, it doesn't work really the way that it's described here. It just doesn't work during the first turn or two. And again, you're just wasting damage that you could be putting out in a Garrison situation. So again, Horn number 1. Again, you can swap out Greatest Glory or Vengeance for number 2, and then the same thing, swap those for number 3, and you should be in good shape. I think the reason Dagger is not in my picks here is because you can counter rally with a counter rally and have the Dagger on that counter rally and get the same bonus without taking up a slot on your Garrison troops. So I would personally use the Concealed Dagger on your counter rally. Again, going back to the rally situation, right? I would use a counter rally with the Concealed Dagger to get that negative 10 or negative 5% bonus, stacking up to 15%. Now let's talk about open field. Open field, it's a whole nother animal. You're going to have your normal troop count, and there's different situations that you need to be accountable for. The only reason, in my opinion, to go open field, the Greatest Glory, or Vengeance is if you are working with an Attila Takeda in the open field. Really, those are made for Attila and Takeda. You're adding normal attack damage and counterattack damage bonuses flat right out the bat. Also, Ring of Doom is a good one for Attila Takeda if you want to open field. Again, I just don't recommend Attila Takeda open field unless you're just trying to farm for more severely wounded. So what do you use for the open field? I think the Horn of Fury is number one. You got to have the Horn of Fury. You just pump out more damage. And on the open field, whether you're in an arc situation, whether you're in a KBK situation, in a murder ball, if you're roaming with 5 armies by yourself, you just want more damage, okay? You just want more damage. You want to take down your enemies quicker, whether you're hopping out of your city to attack something really quick, kill it, and then go back in, or whether you're roaming with your crew on the open field and you are trying to slay everything in front of you. You want the maximum damage. Horn of Fury is number one. Number one, in my opinion. I would also say, again, Concealed Dagger is my choice for number 2, just because this debuff is so strong. If you target something that's got a Concealed Dagger debuff on it, it just goes down so quick. It just drops so quickly because of the negative 15% debuff that they get after attacking for about 10-15 seconds. It just drops just like that. The counterpoint, I would say, and maybe I would even say this is number 2, guys. This is how crazy it is Mora's Web. Now, I don't think most people really have looked at Mora's Web very often or have really given it much thought, but Mora's Web is almost the quintessential. If it wasn't for the fact that Horn of Fury is just so damn good, Mora's Web may actually be number 1, because you not only get 1 debuff, you get 2 debuffs. You get dose debuffs, okay? So first off, you're gonna reduce your target's defense by 4%, which stacks up to 3 times. So that's 12%, okay? But then you also get an 8% March speed debuff on Cav units, which is pretty much prevalent all over the place. You've got XY out, you've got Chandra, you've got William, you've got Saladin, you've got Genghis, you've got Minas out there, you've got Pelagiuses out there, you've got double C primaries out there. No matter how many times I rail on that pairing, you see so many double C primaries out there. Mora's Web is, in my opinion, one of the best open field accessories you can get in the Heroic Anthem shop. Now, there's a third hidden bonus. What happens when you debuff the march speed of a Cav unit? Well, you open them up to commanders like Ethelfled, and there's other ones out there where you get additional bonus damage to slowed targets. So you are not only debuffing the defense, which is critical, you're debuffing the march speed, which is critical, but you're also buffing your own damage against that target without it even being a part of the actual accessory. So this is one of the best value pieces you can get. And the cool thing is, you really only need 1. You only need 1. These don't stack up. So get yourself 1 Mora's Web, and you're pretty much good to go with your 5 army swarm or 7 army swarm, wherever you're at in Heroic Anthem. You can use Mora's Web very effectively on the battlefield. And again, Horn of Fury behind that, you're cranking out tons of different skill damage on top of all that. You're just going to melt targets. They can't get away from you, and you're doing extra damage if you have those commanders that do extra damage to slowed units, and they're going to be lower on defense. Put Horn of Fury on pretty much all 5 marches. I mean, put Horn of Fury on pretty much all 5 marches. Put 1 Concealed Dagger on there, 1 Mora's Web on there. That leaves you with 2 more slots. I would say you can go Ring of Doom with 1, or you can go Coin with 2, or you can use the Ancient Stratagems for expanded army capacity. You can use movement speed accessories like the Rally Flag and like Wind Scars if you're infantry. Just great setup. You want to have as many Horns of Furies as you possibly can get. And then also, again, Mora's Web 1, Concealed Dagger 1, and then everything else is just gravy on top. You are absolutely decimating anything on the open field. And guess what? That same methodology works for Canyon. Your Sunset and Lost Canyons will be devastating with that setup. Horns of Fury, 1 Concealed Dagger, 1 Mora's Web. Gives me the tingles. Okay? So that's my Rally, Garrison, and open field recommendations for what you should be getting from the shop and Heroic Anthem. Let's talk about Conquest Coins. Are these blueprints worth it? If you could see into the future, and you know for a fact that you're going to proc this item, which technically the way the game describes it, there's no possible way that's possible, then I would say yes, let's go. Get this sucker on your setup 100%. And this is after me using 2 Season of Conquest coins on the Hydra Blast last season and not proccing it, of course, because why would we, right? I mean, it just makes total sense. In my opinion, the 2 season coins, not worth it for these blueprints. The value you're getting from these season coins is better spent going ahead and getting your top copy palace. This is a great skin if you have any archers on a rally or a garrison situation. Archer defense 10%, action point recovery is usable all the time, especially in Heroic Anthem, or any KVK for that matter. And troop attack negative 3%, you barely feel it. You barely feel it. 3% attack is nothing. And if you spread it across all the different troop types, it's nothing. It's nothing. It is nothing. Okay? 10% defense to archers, though, that's huge. Action point recovery 5%. There's a civilization that has that. It's called Germany. That's their whole buff alongside of troop training, which is really nice. But their main part of their buff is action point recovery, besides the troop training. And you get that with a city skin, which stacks. If you want to be Germany, you get 10% action point recovery. You're going to be doing some serious barbing. And I got to tell you, that's pretty special. So I would save up my season coins had I had save up the conquest coins had I had the option again, and I would do top copy palace. That's basically 2 heroic anthems if you win heroic anthem all the way, because you can get 3 season coins in one if you're part of the winning coalition. And then if you aren't part of the winning coalition but you don't lose heroic anthem, you'll get two conquest coins per heroic anthem, and it'll take you 3 of the heroic anthem sessions to go ahead and get this. And with these things coming basically back to back to back rapid fire, you get it pretty quick. And this is an end game archer city skin. I mean, that's an end game city skin. You won't have to worry about archers going forward. The only one better would be an archer health skin, which you're probably only going to find on a Zenith of Power style event. So again, you've seen some pretty common themes across the different roles here. You really like Concealed Dagger. You really like Horn of Fury. Those are your 2 that you really want to focus on. The others are for different roles situationally. So again, if you're heavy on Attila Takeda, all you use is Attila Takeda, you only bring 1 march onto the field, and it is Attila Takeda, I would probably still go with the Horn of Fury and maybe grab Greatest Glory. That would be my 2 pair. Anything else, when you're talking about Ramses YSG, or Guan Herald, or Guan Leo, or Guan Alex, or Artemisia YSG, or XY Chandra, or any of the other amazing endgame pairs, I would really start to add on, some of these other things, especially for open field. You've got to have Amora's Web. You got to. It's one of the must-have pieces in your repertoire. This thing devastates. When it's part of the rest of it, it's amazing. If it's by itself, it's okay. But as part of the whole crew, as part of the whole setup, Amora's Web is a must-have. Hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's been helpful for you all. I'm not going to talk about these skins because I know everybody wants the Twilight Falls here, 5% damage, skill damage. You should have a skill damage skin in your repertoire somewhere, whether it's Saints Halo or whether it's any of the other ones that have come out, or whether it's Twilight Falls. Currently, you can migrate to maybe help get something, or you might be able to just start over. I mean, if you migrate, you're still not going to be able to get Twilight Falls, but maybe you can migrate to a kingdom that gives you, an easier chance to win the next Zenith, which might have a skill damage skin on it. Divine Abode's the only other one that I really like. Cav defense 10%, resource production 15%. You just can't use it with infantry because infantry defense is kind of a big deal. It's kind of a thing. So I would definitely avoid Divine Abode if you're an infantry player, but if you're a Cav archer player, hot damn, this is like your bread and butter. Or, again, top copy Palace. Very, very strong. So that's the way I would do it, guys. That's the way I would set it up. If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section below. Again, this is a sponsored content creation channel for Rise of Kingdoms. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one, and take care.